How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a re-review. Don't do these this often, but I'm really pumped to dive in this one. And that is Thomas Creek Brewing. It is their Up the Creek Extreme. That's how you know it's extreme, because they call it Extreme IPA. Yeah. 12.5% alcohol by volume. Sync the status quo, it says on there. Look at that dust. Good God. That's because this is aged beer. You're like, wait a minute. You're drinking an aged IPA. Let's jump in a Wayback Machine real quick. Like 5 years ago, legitimate 5 years ago, when I first started my channel, when I was about 200 beer reviews deep, I reviewed this beer. This isn't the exact batch. They don't do date coding on this beer. I don't know how old this beer is. All I know is, in 2015, I reviewed this. And it is in no way, shape, or form an IPA, let alone an extreme IPA. But what I did say in that review, and you can go watch it, is that it was pretty much a really well done kind of hoppy barley wine, like American barley wine. And I was really kind of like curious to see how this sucker would age. Well, I didn't save any, because that's what I do. I don't save stuff. I've moved twice since then, 3 times actually, yeah, such is life. But today, lo and behold, I was in grocery shopping in Washington, New Jersey, and I was driving home, and there's this little kind of rinky-dink beer stop liquor store, and I'm like, every now and then I pop in there going, okay, they're going to have something really old that's going to kind of tickle me pink, because everything there is just freaking old as hell. And I'm like looking around, and I've never seen it before. It had to have been there before. I just never seen it, because the dust, this is the dust from the place. I look down, I'm like, oh my God, it's Up the Creek. And I look, and I'm like, there's no date. How do I know what date this is? And then the only kind of, I guess you'd say, only way I know this is as old, if not older than the beer that I reviewed previously in 2015, is that they changed this label in 2016. So, 2016, as far as I can see online, that the label changed from this to something a bit newer, a bit more kind of new school kind of graphic. So this has to be 2015, if not older. Now, I reviewed that previous one in 2015. That one might have been 2014. I don't know. But we're kind of in a ballpark. So we're looking at least a 5-year-old beer here. Let's see how this sucker lands. What else does it say on here? Brewed by Thomas Creek Brewing Company, 12.5%. Yeah, India Pale Ale. It says right there, India Pale Ale. It is not. When I cracked that other one, it was like dark. Ooh. Hi there, buddy. That had a nice hiss on it. I think this might... Oh, yeah. Look at that. I'm so excited, because I really enjoyed this beer. It was not an IPA. It was not. Oh, there's a big yeast cake on the bottom, too. Yeah, look at that. That's not super far off from what the original kind of looked like as far as coloration-wise. So it's not so much that this thing is oxidized to the nth degree. It kind of had this kind of look to it. So don't be like, oh, it's just an aged beer, that's why it's that dark. This is how dark. It was lighter than this probably at the get, but it's, aged and it's something quite a bit darker. Label-wise, I mean, that's horror. That's really bad labeling. Kind of like it, because how bad it is, but their new updated one is a little bit more kind of new school, but yeah, I kind of like the ghetto even more. So anyway, I mean, that looks like barley wine right there. I mean, she's not kind of hazy. I can see through it, but it's a rich, deep mahogany with a half a pinky finger of kind of just north of khaki colored kind of head to it. Tight, compact bubbles. I mean, she looks all the parts of like a big imperial brown ale or a barley wine. No way does it look like an IPA. Let's put it that way. Oh, buddy. Let's get a nose. I'm excited for this. Oh, it smells fucking awesome. It's raisinette. It's soda and raisinettes. If you were to like puree raisinettes and put them in Pepsi or Coke, that's exactly what I'm getting here as far as the nose goes. This is super fun nose. Yeah. Rich dark chocolatiness. Kind of wrapped around that kind of nice date, not even date, like pruny raisin figginess. There's a little bit of kind of a smokiness to it, like a blackstrap molasses. And then there's just this kind of soft soda vibe to it. I mean, she smells all the part of English barley wine, but more so like a very aged kind of American barley wine. This smells absolutely fantastic. This is exactly where I want American barley wines to go with time. Like I said, you're looking about 5 years. I'm guessing 5 years, if not longer on this one. I mean, I think it came out in 2012. So you're only talking about a 3-year window. You got 12, 13, 14, 15. So a 4-year window where this beer could have landed. So it's not like you're like, this could be like from like even longer ago. I mean, you're looking anywhere from a 5-year to a 8-year beer. So I'm guessing probably 5 or 6 is one of the newer ones it has to be. The only reason I say that is because if they brewed it in 2012, they probably didn't do distribution at that time in New Jersey. So for it to find its way up here, it probably had to be later in the queue. Put it that way. But yeah, American barley wine all the way. Let's dive in. Cheers. It's delicious. I mean, it's hoppy. I mean, 5 years old, it is not being bashful. It's still being hoppy. The most bonkers thing about this is I'm really not getting a ton of oxidation on this at all. Ever so slightest bit. Most of it's this nice, robust, tea-like, tannic, fuggly kind of hoppiness. It's marrying with this kind of rich, kind of pruning raisin. The chocolate raisinette portion of the show, the chocolate portion, isn't as big in the taste. Definitely there in the nose. But you get more of a pruning raisin kind of vibe in there. That blackstrap molasses, that little bit of spicy molasses is coming through even bigger in the taste. So it's kind of a bridge. It's kind of get that nice hoppy, herbal, tannic, tea-like vibe over here. You get that rich kind of fruity, red fruit, pruny, raisin over here, and then this blackstrap molasses acts as this bridge from one end to another. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, hopefully I don't have boogies in my face. And yeah, I think this is delicious. I think this is probably up there with like your Bigfoots of the world, your kind of American barley wines that are super bittering, that need a little bit of time to kind of grow into their own. This beer is up there with that. Mouthfeel leaves a little bit to be desired. I wish I had a little bit more density to it. Has really nice carbonation still. You heard in that hiss, that thing was sealed perfectly. Not much as far as oxidation goes. This is a really tasty beer. I mean, especially strip, extreme IPA from it. Call it what it is. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. This is barley wine. This is American barley wine, and it's a really well done version of it. And it's aged as good as I could have hoped. I mean, that mouthfeel, like I said, I want a little bit more to it. I don't think it's at its peak yet, which is even kookier. I think this beer is going to get even better over time, and it's become a much more funner. That's funner. That's 2 ers. That's how fun it's going to be. Version of itself. I want to see this in 10 years. I am going to have to go by this place that had these and just pick up all the ones they had. To be perfectly honest with you, because I know myself. I will drink the other 3 of these because I picked up a 4-pack of it. For how much? We'll get to that in a second. That's the best part about this. And, I mean, this is delicious. And I think it's just going to get better. I want a case of these, and I want to drink one once a year, every year. And see how long it takes for it to become fucking tip-top optimal. Because I think it's one of the better American barley wines that I've had in quite some time. Let's cut the chase. Is it? Yes. It's one of the better American barley wines that I've had as of late. Especially when it comes to age front. Is it Mount Rushmore status? It might be. That's how good this thing has aged. And I think it's just going to get better. Value and availability. I've seen these beers on and off, in and around where I live. So they can be had. But I have not seen the older ones. I found these at a place that had, I think, 4 of these on a shelf for $9 a 4-pack. $9 motherfucking dollars a 4-pack, son. That's what I'm talking about. I am going back and I am buying all these. I'm going to wait to post this video till I get back there. So none of you MFers can go find them and steal them from me. But yeah, this is just, at $9 a 4-pack American barley wine that ages really well. sold all day. It's an aberration. I mean, you're talking about calling this an IPA. I don't even know why they do it. I think they're missing the mark as far as who they could sell this to and the people that would want to drink it. But I think it's really well done. I think it's aging quite well, and I think it still has a lot of legs to it. And here's the coolest part about it. You have a time frame to pick these up. Since this label did change from 15 to 16, if you see this label and you like American barley wines and you like aged beers, pick it up. Because if it has a new label, you know it's fresh. You don't even have to think about it. You see this label, pick it up. If you see the newer label, don't pick it up. Or at least pick one new one up and kind of do a side-by-side of it. But I think these can be had. I've seen these around. I mean, the ones that I found, you're not going to be able to get because I'm going to buy them all, but yeah, it's one of those fun ones where I think it's a little bit of a sleeper when it comes to kind of the American barley wine thing. I mean, it's like Bigfoot. Bigfoot can still be had, older bottles, but it has a little bit of cachet. This has no cachet. I know nobody that covers this beer. I know that nobody that talks about this beer. I know nobody that speaks about this beer when it comes to aging beers. So I think this is a bit of a sleeper. So if you like aging beers, you like American barley wines when they're aged a bit, you like I'm not putting it up there with Hair of the Dog, but if you like the Hair of the Dog kind of American strong ales, those hoppy forward ones, you like your Stone hoppy forward, you like your Bigfoots, you like your Nevada kind of hoppy forward kind of beers that you like when they age, this should be on your list of things if you see it kind of floating about, especially if it has the old school label on it. There you go. Another review in the books. Aged re-review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of aged American IPA right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.